Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the She's Next Level podcast. I'm so excited to be back on here and record another episode for you guys. And honestly, I had no idea what I even wanted to talk about today. And then I sat down with my higher self and my intuition, and I was like, what do we want to talk about? And today's topic is going to be all around money, okay? Because money is always a thing that is on everyone's mind in some way or another. Let's just be real. It's just a part of our lives. And for me, it's definitely been a great time, I'll say, in navigating this uncertainty era of my life and working even deeper with my money beliefs and my relationship with money, and it's just been a lot. So today I wanted to really talk about some of the epiphanies that I've had recently around money and just in my, self-image, self-trust era as well that I've been on, and really understanding money on a deeper level, the relationship that we have with money, and what actually it even means to create it, to have it, to hold it. And this is going to be very deep. I like to go fucking deep. I don't like surface level shit. And I realize the more I go deeper into certain topics like this, the more I understand it. And then the more I'm able to really implement it in my life. So this is definitely going to be something that is about money, but we're not going to talk about money. We're going to talk about something else, because I feel like a lot of us are focusing so much on money and how to create more money. But it's that's not the thing that we actually need to focus on. And this is the thing that I feel like not a lot of people are really talking about. And so I feel like people are focusing on the wrong things that we're going to debunk today. So the thing that I want to talk about today that we actually need to focus on is the concept of your innate value in itself. And I feel like value is something that is such a huge, broad word of how value is perceived in the world. And I feel like we're going to really go deeper around this, because I don't really feel like a lot of people are connected to their innate value. Just like me in my life, I connected value with money for me. And so for me, it was all around the more money I made, the more valuable I felt, and the more I felt like I was important in life, in other people's lives, in my own life. And so we're really going to disconnect value with money in a way where it's separate from you. It's separate. It's not the same. Obviously the currency of money is value, but we're going to look at it so differently that money is just not going to fuck with you like that anymore. Aren't we just all over it? I don't know about you guys, but for me, I just feel so over feeling this way around money. And it's not money's fault. Money's neutral. There is no emotion there. It's just my relationship with it. And it's because I attached value in the wrong place. And so now I've been just working recently on redeveloping my relationship with money and my actual relationship with value. So we're going to talk about innate value. I don't really feel like a lot of people are talking about innate value as much, and how that is always going to be the core foundation of creating more abundance and wealth and just the best fucking life that you want to live. And I also will correlate worthiness and innate value. They're both interchangeable. I feel like they're both the same thing. When I was really diving deeper into worthiness and what that really means, I was you would feel worthy because you know that you're innately valuable as you are. So I was talking to a friend today earlier, and she was basically telling me that she launched a new product for her business, and she's been working on rooting to how valuable it is and why people should buy it, and there's a certain belief work that you do if you're in the reprogramming world, because if you're listening to my podcast, of course you are. But basically, she's just working on, rewiring her brain around seeing how valuable her product is so that people would buy it so that she can make more money. But here's the thing, is that when I looked in and I was like, this is the thing that people are focusing on, that usually they focus on, that isn't what's actually helping them. It's actually making it harder for them and your brain to get around rooting to how valuable your product is, because you have not solidified the value that you feel from within. And I don't care how much inner work you've done, if you have not solidified this within yourself of how valuable you feel within from who you are as a person, nothing to do with what you have and what you've accomplished, then you will not be able to, feel that with any of your work. I mean, it always shows. Think about it. Think about all the people that you look up to, and think about how they show up. And I mean, some of this may be true for some people, some of it may not, but the people that you look up to, like, how valuable do you feel like they are just as they are? Like, you just love watching them, you love their content, even if they don't give you like any tips or like any tools or like any form of value or even money, you just love being around them. Okay, I don't know if that's like a great example, but going back to the story of my friend, basically I was telling her that, like, if we are not feeling innately valuable as we are, and we're not so deeply rooted, like, you got to be like really rooted to the fact that, like, if you had no more money, if you were like bottom line almost like homeless, like, let's just go there. If you were so deeply rooted in who you are and how valuable you are, then like money would not be a question for you. You wouldn't even be focusing on it so much, because you are valuable as a person, and so then money would follow. Now, I want to share a little concept that I learned recently from like someone else's podcast, where I was like, oh my God, this is genius, the way that they explained it. And I was like, this helped me understand value differently. So I feel like there's two different types of value. There is obviously your innate value in who you are, and then there is perceived value. And so I want to talk about innate value first, because this is obviously the most important. And what I feel like I realized as I dive deeper into this is your innate value is literally all the qualities and attributes and traits and even your passions, the things that you're interested in, your authentic expression, your unique energy, the way that you are. And I mean like all parts of you. So not the parts of you that you just like, but all the parts of you that you may not, feel 100% in love with, but that part of you is still valuable, because we are all here to help one another grow. And you are always helping somebody just by being in your presence, just by being in your energy, the way that you hold yourself, and even the way that maybe you've been, one day you've been a raging bitch like I have, like last week with my parents. And that was insanely valuable too. It's feeling value in across all the boards in who you are. And why I was super valuable even in that moment when I was a raging bitch to my parents is because I was being a reflective mirror for them to shift something that was within them. And maybe they realize it now or maybe later, but it was still valuable for them to, grow from that moment and think about how they want to be treated, how they want to feel, like all of these things. Everyone is on their own journey, and we are always supporting one another just as we are. We were built the way that we are to be who we are in this world, for what we were meant to be. And so I will even go to say that even in your business, your purpose is technically not your value. A lot of people, including myself, have, even attached a bit of my identity into my business. And I had to separate that shit, because it's just an extension of me. It's not my actual innate value. Like, it's just a part of my expression. But your innate value is all aspects of your expression. It's all aspects of who you are. Like, you can't recreate that. It's naturally built inside of you. And so you can't really get it anywhere else either. It's just who you are. It'll always be there. And so that automatically makes you worthy, more than capable, and valuable to help anybody, or just to be and to just exist in this world. But since we're talking about money, and money is an exchange of value, obviously to help anybody. So I just want you guys to like think about all the ways in how you are valuable in every freaking interaction of your day with anybody, or even if you're not doing anything, you're valuable to yourself because you're filling your cup up, you're nourishing your energy so that you can share your energy from an empowered place. So just think about that for a second. And then I want to talk about perceived value, because there's nothing more than I love to just be able to discern the value that I perceive in the world, especially in the world of marketing. But perceived value, I've noticed people talk about, like, you know, certain TikTok videos, I've been like noticing how they're saying like, you got to feel valuable, and how valuable do you feel? But again, where is that value rooted in? Because here's the thing with perceived value. When you understand the energetics behind how life actually works, because we're all technically energy, and we're always reading energy, we're always moving energy. Energy is obviously never created or destroyed. It's always just changing forms. But when you truly understand that, especially from a self-image perspective, that value is just perceived. Everything is a perception. Everything is just an observation. Then technically, girl, I'm going to put you on to a little tip here, as I had to do that for myself. Technically, if I can just get my brain around how valuable I see myself, and this is for like your, obviously, like if you're in business, then, you know, for like creating more money, if you can get behind how much more valuable what you have to offer and create is, no one is actually measuring the value of it. So like, this is where I notice like people often undercharging themselves, or kind of playing small when it comes to certain things that they offer to the world, because they are thinking that it's not as valuable as what they see, you know, other things, other people, whatever they're charging and value is. But both of the things don't matter. Like, the value that you see somebody else charging for that you may look up to versus the value that you have that you're like charging for, obviously, like, the only difference is experience. But like, technically nothing matters besides you feeling the value of the thing that you create. So you could literally feel like your product is worth like 10 times more than what somebody that's not aware of the energetics behind things like may perceive. But that's what people are going to feel. That's what's going to radiate off of your belief field. And the best way that you will probably feel this way is if you're rooted to your innate value. If you are so insanely rooted to who you are and how valuable you are, it will be a lot easier for you to feel even more valuable around the things that you create. So essentially, like, the name of the game really is to obviously not only like become more rooted and connected to your innate value, which is something I've been really working on like intensively lately, because I realized like, holy shit, this whole time I felt valuable. It was really not because of who I am as a person. Like, when I say fully insanely rooted, that means like it's who you are, and nothing that anyone can say can shake you from that. Like, that's how valuable you want to feel. And so this is something that I'm working on, but also just like, no matter what basis, like no matter how much money I have or how much money I make, like, it means nothing about you, because it's separate from you. Like money is literally just a resource, and it's a tool that you use. It literally has no feelings. Like it can be used for any purpose in any way, and it's you that creates it. It's you that makes it work. It's you that has that relationship. It always comes back to you. So here's my thing, is that if we all just focus on how much more valuable we can feel by rooting day in day into how valuable we are as humans, then it'll be so much easier to just allow the money in, because we are all naturally abundant. We all are naturally full of greatness within us, and we have so much to give in just our energy alone. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Honestly, I had no idea where this episode was going. I was kind of like just freestyling it. I really feel like when I do that, everything that wants to pour out of me will just pour out of me. But I do want to leave you guys with one thing that I've been doing to help me with this throughout the day. There are obviously a shit ton of ways to help, get your brain behind what your higher self knows to be true and what you know to be true as an innate being. I don't know why I said as an innate being. That sounds funny. As a soul, you guys know what I mean. But I have really, honestly, lately been just like finding ways and creating ways to be able to reprogram in a way that's like just feels more effortless. It feels more like it's integrated into my day, because I've done a lot of reprogramming tools out there, and I've been still experimenting with things, and that's just going to be like the way I roll. Like I'm always trying to find ways to make things better. And sometimes the most simple fucking things are the things that work. And so if you're somebody who wants to just feel more valuable from within and not have money feel like this thing that is just making you feel more anxious or making you feel not your best self because somehow you may have attached your sense of meaning from it, I encourage you to try this out. I encourage you to start working through cultivating a relationship with yourself and rooting more into your innate value. And so this is something that I do. It's very passive. It's very easy. I don't think I've explained this before, but basically, if I were to explain energy work and into like a one simple sentence, it's all around setting the intention. Because we're always guiding light, we're always guiding our intentions, we're always guiding our energy. And so you just want to make sure that you're guiding it into where you want it to be, like your focus, your attention. So obviously, because the brain likes proof, right? And what we focus on more is what we get. So in the mornings, this is what I do. I basically wake up and I close my eyes. I set the intention to connect with my higher self. And I just set the intention to notice and feel in all the ways that I'm innately valuable throughout my day. Literally, just that. Like it's that simple. And then I also set like a separate intention, just like this idea of just noticing how money is just simply a tool that you get to use. And it's just bonus energy. If you can like root to your innate value and then root to like how the money you have is just bonus energy and it's just a tool that you get to use, it feels a lot better and it feels like separate, which because it is. It's separate from you. It's not like you. It just feels a lot more empowering. At least I know it does for me, even especially as I've been navigating this whole like transition. Especially knowing that like the income I have isn't guaranteed, especially when you're in business, like hello, feeling safe around money and like a relationship with money is like the very first thing that you're going to navigate through when you have your own business. But before you can get to that, your innate value is going to be the core. Working on how valuable you are from within is going to be the core underneath that layer of money, and working on your money story and your money relationship. It's the relationship with yourself. and how valuable you feel like you are. So I hope that that was helpful for you guys. I am so grateful that you're here and listening, tuning in from wherever you are. I just want you guys to know that I love you. And please share this episode with a friend that is also on this journey of self-growth, and that would just be helpful and beneficial for them. And also leave a review for me. Please leave a review for me. It would mean a lot to me, and it would help get this message across to more and more people and really help them in the way that they are meant to be helped. All right, guys, I will catch you in the next episode. Bye.